Hello, 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 and welcome. My name is Barbara J. Beckley. I am the host of where you are right now, the Coaches Lounge, yours truly. And this is a show where I like to celebrate the coaches, the educators, the mentors of the world that help you, that help me, that help all of us move to that next level in our lives. You could be a coach from health. It could be a coach from mindset. It can be a coach for branding. It can just be a coach to understand how you eloquently talk. Any type of coach I like to bring here because they have to work very hard. And I'm saying that right now. I'm putting myself out there because I'm a coach too. So I totally understand. I know both sides of the fence that they have to work with other people or other groups or other projects or, project management. I mean, everything comes out when you're a coach for somebody. And sometimes they don't stay with you for no 2 or 3 weeks and say, okay, it's a wrap, we're done. No, sometimes coaches stay with you for years, even years and years, and sometimes even a lifetime. So I feel like they need to get their flowers now on this show. And that's why I call it the Coaches Lounge, because we have conversations with these coaches to, first of all, just to get to know them. Just kind of get a little bit behind the scene on who they are. How do they become this wonderful, amazing coach? And then after that, we get to see just a little taste of how they coach, how they introduce themselves to clients, what kind of clients they're looking for. Maybe you might be the one for them. So always take your pad of paper and your pen because you're writing notes down, not just to get to know this person, but maybe, just maybe, you're looking for that exact coach that I'm bringing on now to help you with your life and to, like I said, move that needle. So today we have a wonderful coach coming on. I always call the women queens. You should be used to that by now. I shouldn't have to even explain that anymore. This lady is, heaven, heaven, heaven. Arnetta Cameron. We and her, we just met, but I feel like I've been knowing her for a long time because we've been kind of back and forth making sure, first of all, that she's on point with everything she does with this show and beyond. And she just has the kindest heart. She just has the kindest soul. And, and I love how she, and I'm going to make her laugh at this. I love how she calls me Miss Barbara. I just love that. That is just so sweet. How can you not fall in love with this lady? And what's so nice about it, she knows her stuff, and we're going to find more about that. She knows. So she's mastering change management, embracing education, elevation. That's her 3 E's. Okay, she's going to talk more about that. She basically helps organizations navigate people through centered change. Has anybody in their lifetime in an organization went through some kind of change? If you don't have your hand up, and I can't see you, but your virtual hand somewhere, I know you haven't been living in this world. There's always going to be some kind of change. I don't care what it is. Even if the bathroom went from one side to the other side of the row, there's going to be a big change. Why did they move it over there? It was close over there. They had to move way over there on the other floor. You see, that's change. And it can cause conflict. Well, this lady comes in, and she's like the peacemaker. She on both sides of the fence, but she listens. She listens. So Cameron Consulting Partners, CCP, is a woman-owned, and I love that too, consulting firm specializing in organizational change management, training, leadership, development. CCP helps organizations navigate complex change by focusing on people. Just focusing on people and strategize the alignment for leadership. Now, the biggest thing out of the whole thing I said was focusing on people. And that's why she comes in as a heavyweight and an expert, because she just loves people. And that really syncs with her when she comes to her people and with who she works with. So enough of me talking about that. We need to hear from the queen. So we will be right back. I can just tell her goodness all over, but we want to hear from her. So we'll be right back with Queen Arnetta. she's grooving with me. And
Yeah.
we are back. If you're just signing on, yes, you're in the right place at the right time. The Coaches Lounge with yours truly, me, Barbara J. Beckley. But it's not about Barbara J. Beckley today. It's about spotlight experts as this wonderful queen, Arnetta D. Cameron, who I mentioned. If you haven't heard, she is the bomb. Yes, I'm using some slang words, but that's okay. Because that if I get my point across that way, then I'm going to do that. Queen, welcome, welcome, welcome your family to me.
Thank you so much. I feel the same way. As you mentioned, we met just a short time ago, and I swear I feel like I've been knowing you forever. And it's just your kind, warm spirit that I'm so attracted to. I thank you so much for having me on and for creating this space for coaches.
Yeah. Yeah, I told Queen, I really felt it, especially when you do it yourself. And I know there's so many people doing that nowadays. And I was like, I don't really see too many people like giving them some flowers. I see everybody else get whatever. And they're kind of just, just carrying the torch for everybody. And it's time to carry the torch for you. So this is to get you some love. This is to get you some respect. This is a space where you get time to really just peel the onion out of your life and for what you do, how you got here, who you help, and what kind of clients you're looking for. Because I want you to mention that too towards the end. So let's start off with basically, who is this wonderful power pack woman that we know right now that's sitting in front of us?
Thank you, David. I am Arnetta Cameron. I am a star. I'm skilled through alternative resources. Hard work and hands-on experience be the main ones. I took a non-traditional path to success and to where I am today. But I must admit, it has also increased my awareness for change because at every turn, I thought I was going one way. I'm sure a lot of people have experienced this. You think you're going to go one way. That road is not straight. So you zig and you zag, and you have to adopt a change along the way.
Yes. Now, with your background, because I know, you especially dealing with organizations and, just people in general, and we're going to get into that a little bit deeper. But yes, where did you have that aha moment where you just said, I really want to help people get through change because maybe I see it for myself or I went through something similar?
Absolutely. Just learning corporate America was challenging for me because I came through an alternative path. So I was not prepared in the manner that most college graduates may have been. I had to learn on the job. I think I told you a story once on how I thought I was advocating for my colleagues, and I was always the first one to say, well, this is not right, or this is not fair, or why we got to do it that way. I didn't know how to speak corporate. So although I was coming from the heart, I was going about things the wrong way because I honestly just did not know any better. Yeah. And part of what has me here today is the fact that people poured into me. And so I was able to get past that and learn from other people in my environment. And I want to do the same for others. I want to pay that forward. If I can shave 5 to 10 years of, or even if it's 5 weeks off of somebody else's path to success, then that warms my heart and makes me feel like I'm paying it forward, paying back what was poured into me, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And what I like about what you said, Queen, is that you were there. You were, you was just putting your heart out there. That's what you were doing. But like you said, if you don't know, you don't know. What you don't know, I always tell people. So when you're in corporate, there's a certain way that you get your voice out there, but you have to, kind of say it a different way, strategically do it a different way. But when you it's like, boom, well, why is this like this? And believe me, been there, done that. I've been in corporate for over 30 some years. And yeah, I started like a firecracker because the first thing I was thinking to myself is something's not right. So that's our sense. That's just our inner person telling us, this don't seem right. I think I need to say something, or maybe we need to talk about this or whatever. And that's what was coming out. So it wasn't like you were saying the wrong thing or anything. It's just the approach of it. Like you said, you had to figure that out. And once you figured it out and you got it on lock right now you're like, okay, now that I have it, let me teach and show others.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And being able to speak Yeah, and being able to be my authentic self while I'm communicating was very important because I can't change who I am, and my experiences are not the same as everyone else's. So I found out that that can be a positive. That can be a positive, and so I just remained true to myself. I spoke my piece. If I didn't understand, I said I didn't understand. And I wasn't afraid to ask for help because I considered myself a sponge. I was soaking up any kind of knowledge I could. And I would always tell people, you're not going to drop knowledge around me and not see me pick it up. I'm going to pick that up. If you drop it in front of me, I'm picking up that knowledge. So I just ended up with this plethora of skills and this realization that yes, I came to the realization that people process change differently, and change can be very difficult for a lot of people. Um, I learned in my career that people that go through change go through the almost the exact same stages of grief, if not the exact same stages of grief for some. It is that serious for them. And in this day and time, I've witnessed a lot of people, rather than go through another large scale software implementation, they take an early retirement or they go find another job. They would literally rather start over with systems that they are familiar with. So they'll go work for a company that's on that same system rather than change to the new system coming in because they just don't feel they have it in them to learn a new system. That's how serious change is for some people. And it's my job to make that better.
Yeah, you are it's so true. I'm glad you mentioned that, Queen, because you're right. Sometimes the grieving process is almost like the grief. Because I told people, I said, you just don't grieve for individuals. Sometimes you grieve for a relationship, you grieve for a job. I mean, you go through those patterns. And sometimes people, like you said, will, because I see people at my job where when certain things came in that was just like going to be totally switched out, job titles, skills, everything was switched out because of certain systems or whatever, they would just take a mental health time off, or like retire early. I mean, I had some people retire early or take that long vacation that they have up. So yeah, you're right. People handle it in different avenues.
Yeah.
And you come in because what I like you, and to talk a little bit more about this, is you come in, like you said, and you're a people person to understand both sides. You hear the side of the organization side and what they're dealing with, because they're dealing with a lot of stuff too. They're still learning and growing. So we got to give them some love here. A lot of times we kind of corporate is like, okay, what? But no, right. They have a lot of things they got to look at, as a corporate company. And then from that, then you look at the people on the other side and hear their voices.
Absolutely. So, and you have to align efforts with the organizational overall goals. So in doing so, you have to meet people where they are, whatever stage of grief they're in about change, whatever stage of change they're in, you have to meet them there before you can move forward. And a lot of times I do that by simply connecting with them, understanding what their pain points are about the change. And, oftentimes it is the fact that they don't understand the change or they don't understand the WIFM. Even though they've been advised, they can't hear because they can't get out of their own way. They're so upset about the change, they're not hearing the benefits of it. So I really just echo the benefits of the change, invite them to be a change champion because the change is coming. The decision has been made. So rather than be disgruntled about it and upset about it and, having to hate life when you go to work every day, why not embrace it early? Kind of like AI. We're all a little bit scared of it. But we know it's not only coming, it's here. And so we need to embrace it. We need to understand it and figure out how to use it so that we can move forward with it. And it's the same thing with change. I invite people to embrace the change, become a change champion, understand the change so that you can be the voice when something is not going to align properly for the work that you process. Then you can be that voice to speak to that without complaining. Because I think I told you before, I consult leadership, but I coach the workforce and I coach them on how to speak to leadership. They don't want 2 pages of complaints. They want the facts. And I teach them how to communicate with the facts. And oftentimes there are gaps. And now, instead of being a part of the problem, you're part of the solution. And instead of being someone who is afraid of the change or disgruntled about the change, you find yourself getting excited about it because now you've contributed to it. You've helped make it better for yourself and your colleagues. And it's just it's a mindset switch that takes place at some point. And so I love to see that happen. It's kind of like watching the light go off in somebody's brain when they learn something new. It's the same thing when they finally adapt to that change.
Yeah. It's like they get it. It's like, oh, and I love how you said this, make sure that you're putting the facts out there. And I always tell people because, we're all, first of all, we're all human because change is going to be change. And, some people be like, we're going to have that sometimes, some more than others. But I like how you said present. Let's, instead of putting all the whole 5, 6, 7 pages. Oh, this shouldn't be this way. Da, da, da. And by the way, this shouldn't be this way. Da, da, da. Now you got a whole book, right? And corporate is going to be like, yeah, okay, this is noise to me. This is noise. Right. But if you bring them the facts and explain how, if this change happens like this, this will evolve to this. If you show them certain ways, not saying there's so much fight about the change, but show them the capacity that, you're putting this change in. I hear you. I see you. Right. But understand that when you put this change through, these are the facts for this. Yes. And I feel like they have a more open ear to listen and say, oh, wait a minute. We didn't realize that if we do that. Instead of a cool book saying, you shouldn't do this. This is my blood pressure going up. And da, 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 da.
Right. You can get those downstream impacts out without putting so much emotion in it that you're not being heard. Because to your point, it becomes noise. Yeah. So that's why I also coach the workforce on how to communicate with leadership. And I also know what leadership is listening for. They want the end first. They want to begin at the end. So I definitely understand that about leadership and understand that the goals and objectives will remain the same, but how we go about them might change.
I just love what you do because you understand both sides of it. And I had a little smile on my face because I was thinking when you said they want the end result first, right? So when I was a babe, I always say a babe in corporate. That's what a long time ago, so tell my age, a long time ago. And I was like, I was a Spitfire. I was like, we need to da-da-da-da. This be, the noise, right?
Yes, it was noise.
It was noise. But now when I come to them, if there's something change and I'm seeing that, this can whatever, I said, I found out a way that we can save 5 hours less time working on this project. All of a sudden the ear came up. Because the person they're thinking is, okay, you're talking about taking some hours away that we don't have to pay for you. I mean, that's what they're thinking. They're like, oh, you found how to cut some hours here? Let's hear that. Or, I found out that this can make more money if we do it this way, if we deal with this particular carrier, because I work in insurance. And you'll save like maybe 50 grand or something. Nice. What? Yes. We're saving 50 grand where? So that's, you got to speak their language, like you said.
Now they hear you. Yes.
And we're just saying, well, I don't like how this is done and it's taking too long. They're going to be like, okay, here we go. Here's another person that wants to,
Yeah. And that brings up another point because sometimes we have to also remind the workforce that although a change may add a step or two to their process, you don't realize that it may reduce someone else's process by 25%, which reduces the overall process by 25%. So it can't just be the with them. It can't just be the what's in it for me. Sometimes you have to think outside of yourself and your task as well. And understand that it is a whole big process and they're streamlining processes across the board, not just yours. So if they have to add a button to your process in order to take away 10 from another, that might be what needs to happen.
I feel like you just walked into my world of corporate, my day job, because that's what happened. They added 3 more buttons to our position because I'm an account executive, but it's taken away some other things in other areas that they don't have to deal with. So, and when I see, but if I didn't know that, I would have been fighting that.
Right.
The first thing I'm thinking is, okay, we just had 2 clicks. Now we got 10 clicks. What does this don't make any kind of sense? In my mind. But then when they told us the bigger story, said, well, when you do those other quick clicks, it's basically automating it faster where the client is now getting things. I said, oh, okay, well, bring on the 10 clicks then, because if it's going to save interim of the whole thing, and I kind of understand. But if you don't get that bigger picture, which I like what you do with your clients, that's the bigger picture on both sides, that people can understand. It's all about communication. Yeah.
Yes. And corporate communicates well, that like when they're starting to change, implementing new procedures and things of that nature, they definitely do communicate. But like I said before, the communication channels get clouded with noise. The workforce or the end users cannot hear most of what is coming down, because all they heard was change. All they heard was my job is changing, and they don't want to do that. So they're not necessarily hearing the messaging that is being communicated. And the same for the reverse, because the end users or workforce are not communicating well with leadership. Leadership is only hearing the noise. So Cameron Consulting Partners comes in and navigates the gap. We help people navigate change. That's what we do on both sides of the fence.
Yes. So because I'm just loving this conversation, but I want people to know, just to give a scenario, like if you was to hire, well, first of all, it's going to be a combined. Okay. What kind of clients are you looking for CCP? And then also, how do you approach, like give a scenario, like when you bring in a new client?
Well, let me first say that my previous experience has largely been in the government sector. We all know that that's gone through some changes. So I have brought my Big Four consulting skills to mid-sized businesses. And I'm finding that there are just a few people within these organizations wearing all the big hats. Wearing all the big hats. And so I'm able to come in and map out processes, help with SOPs, establish the foundation that they can utilize to build upon and reduce the size of some of those hats. Using AI to automate some things, using AI to help other people take on more of what's underneath those hats for them, so that they can delegate more freely at that, so they can feel confident in delegating, because you're not just delegating it to Arnetta Cameron, you're delegating it to Arnetta Cameron with the assistance of AI, right? So you can feel a little bit more confident that between the two of us, we're going to get you closer to what you need. They still may have to polish it off, but it allows them to be able to let go a little bit. And that's part of the problem. They want to take on far too much, but they have to, because it's a smaller organization. And then in bringing the organization on, honestly, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to sit down and discuss, if it's a smaller organization, we're going to discuss what they do, how they do it, and who their customer is. We're going to figure out how they get their product or services to the market. And then we're going to figure out the change, the delta. What is it that you're implementing? What is it that needs improvement? What is it that you're trying to change? And how will it impact your workforce? And then I will go speak to the workforce and see how they feel about the change. And not just talk about the change, but I'm also going to ask them what their pain points are and what would make their jobs easier, not specific to the change, just in general.
Yeah.
And then I come back and compile that information, bring it back to leadership. And oftentimes they're able to hear what the workforce and end users are saying now, because it's mapped out differently. And then we can find gaps. We can find more ways to improve processes and shave time off of deliverables and things of that nature, get the customer their product quicker, all of that, because now we are communicating on both sides of the fence and everyone understands what's happening and why.
I like that, because I like how when you go back to the workforce to ask them, not so much, I know you want to get information about the change part, but just in general, what they're thinking, what their thoughts are, because you never know, they might have some thoughts where some other changes might need to happen. Absolutely. And maybe even corporate didn't even think about that. So it becomes like almost partnership between your workforce, and it should always be, in my mind, a workforce with leadership, with the corporation. Because at the end of the day, we're all trying to get the same thing out.
Same result. Yes.
Same result.
Yes. And leadership does not have the time or the bandwidth to sit and task map. They understand the process. Of course, they're in leadership. They understand the process, but they don't have the time to sit and task map with the end users and the workforce in general, because they're busy running the company. So that's something that I can come in and do. I can do the task mapping, the process map for them. And then now that they know the change that they're implementing and how it's going to impact their organization, what I bring back to them can be reviewed to see if there's opportunity there. If we're going to implement this change anyway, and we're being told that if we could just do this or that, if things would be better or faster or cheaper, then maybe there's an opportunity to implement whatever that was in the change that's already occurring.
Yeah. So, when you say cheaper, when you can lower some costs somewhere, believe me, they're going to be like, what did you say, Queen? Did you say we need to do this? And they'll be ready to kind of say, okay, let's make that change.
Faster, cheaper, better.
Faster, cheaper, better. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
So I love your three. I want to just go real quickly into your 3 E's.
Yes. So basically what I've been describing is that 3E process where we embrace, educate, and elevate. So first we're going to embrace where we are. The change is coming. Just embrace it. Because fighting it is only going to frustrate you further. Get in there and understand it. Get ahead of it. Get your 2 cents in, let them know. And while we're making this change, maybe we can do this and that or improve this or that, So you want to be a champion for the change because oftentimes, and I tell people this all the time, when change comes, it's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for promotion. It's a great opportunity to skills stretch. It's a great opportunity to be seen and heard if you're speaking the right language.
There you go.
Yes. So that's why we embrace it. And then you educate yourself on the change, educate yourself on the possibilities, educate leadership if there's a need to. They may not be aware that there's a particular process that might throw a kink in the change. So, and that falls back to communication, but we are educating. And then once you have embraced where you are, understand where you're going, and then you, then you elevate from there, because now that you've become a change champion, you're mastering this new process, this new product, this new procedure, what have you. Become the SME, be the go-to. It's a great opportunity to shine.
Yeah. And learn. And like you said, all the other things, embrace and educate. Education should never go away in a person's mind. I always say that, Queen. We should always be forever, ever learning.
Yes, lifelong learners. We all should be lifelong learners. And in fact, we are, whether we want to admit it or not. Life don't stop teaching lessons. So
that should be your signature saying. Yes, you are so true. I always tell people, just live a little longer. Well, I didn't learn to just live a little longer.
Keep living and breathing.
Yeah, you will. Wow. Well, Queen, I want to just give you just a little bit more time, just 30 seconds. I want to just take myself down, okay? And just leave any lasting thoughts or something that the audience can kind of resonate with you on what you do. And then we'll come back and we'll make sure they understand how to contact you. So I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Thank you. Well, you can reach Cameron Consulting Partners online at CameronConsultingPartners.com. You can find us on Facebook under Cameron Consulting Partners as well. And if you are going through change, if your organization is going through change, or if you need personal development, if an organization needs talent development, we are the people's people. We navigate people through change, and we provide multiple services that will help get you there quicker and with less headache. So allow us to come and help you navigate the change that you want to implement. And I promise you would not regret it.
Wow. See, Queen, she's saving all the other good stuff that she has when she gets to meet you one-on-one and you get to be in her world, because this woman is amazing. She's helping so many organizations, so many people in the workforce just to come together. She has a listening ear, and that is her superpower. I always say everybody has a secret sauce in their gifts and what they give people. Her secret sauce basically is really understanding people and having a heart of gold for them. But still, she's stern enough to make sure things are getting done. You have to have both. It has to come together. But she has a heart of gold for people, and she wants to hear what they have to say when it comes to change, when it comes to saving things, just everything. Because she's trying to build the mold for the whole corporation. And that's what she does with her consulting firm. So as you can see down below, I put her website there that you can reach her. If this is going too fast, because some people are like, well, I didn't see it, Barbara. Well, you know me, reach me, and you're not going to reach the queen. So there's no excuse why you don't get to this lady. So Queen, thank you so much for coming on the Coaches Lounge. We wanted to give you your flowers. We wanted people to get to know who you are, what you do in the world. I always say you're a lighthouse to the world, and you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And yes, I tried to give just enough information for people to reach out.
Yep. See, it's like, oh, she just gave me that little salad. I want the whole meal. She didn't say anything else. I want to hear everything else. And that's there's a strategic way of doing it. I love that.
Every company's different.
Every company's different. So with that, we will see. We love this queen. You're welcome all the time, Queen. If anything's popping up that we need to know or more, it's educate us, because we're educators of life, right?
Yes.
Please come back. You're welcome to the Coaches Lounge anytime. Anytime.
Thank you so much. I would love to come back. Thank you for having me.
And with that, again, another wonderful, amazing coach, executive, just everything. One little shell that she is. And if you are interested in being on the Coaches Lounge, like I said, I will give you your flowers. We can let you shine because you help so many individuals, just like this queen does. So we'll see you at the next Coaches Lounge with yours truly, Barbara J. Beckley. See you soon.
Introducing the Diamond Factor Network, where we turn your business into a beacon of success. Imagine having your TV streaming show reaching audiences far and wide. It's possible with the Diamond Factor Network. Unlock the power of your brand with our state-of-the-art TV streaming platform. Your show, your way. Feature highlights, customized shows, global reach, and professional support. Coaching by Barbara J. Beckley, purpose, visibility, and social media strategist. Ready to elevate your brand? Join the Diamond Factor Network today and let your brilliance light up the world. Shine bright, because your success is our priority.